Welcome everyone to Buttercast number 7, the pre-800 subs celebration. So I could cut my throat as soon as I start the podcast. Anyway, thanks for joining in, everyone. I have 3 other guests with me tonight, and sit back and relax as we melt a little buttery knowledge into your ear holes. So, let's go ahead and introduce our guests here. First and foremost, we have Rashidi, the Good Shepherd, who is a fellow member of the Gamers at Large podcast. I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel as he drops nuggets of wisdom on us from pretty regular basis. So how's it going, Rashidi?
What's going on, guys? It's like Jamie said, it's the Good Shepherd here, here to talk some interesting topics. The Buttercast is where it's at.
Yep. We got Rob of the Rule 2 Review, who's another Gamers at Large member, and he's also likes to go on, I'm not going to say tangents, but he likes to go in depth with his topics. He knows his shit, and he is definitely a man that you should be subscribed to as well. How's it going, Rob?
Not bad, man. Thanks for having me on. And I feel like the tangent description was pretty accurate. I talk way more than is healthy, so I'll try not to do that tonight. But super stoked to be on my first Buttercast, man. I can't wait to chat with you guys.
Yep, glad to have you. And last but not least, we have Coupon Strives, who is a fairly new member of the YouTube community here. She doesn't have many subscribers. You need to subscribe her because she does cosplay, she does unboxing, she also knows her shit. She's a military vet, and she's cute as a button. So, how's it going, Coupon?
Hello, Coupon here. I'm generally your self-proclaimed diva of gaming. Thank you for having me.
And, of course, as always, we're glad to have everybody here. For any of our listeners, which at this very moment are 0, but I'm sure more will going on. For any of our listeners, I've got the Q&A app open. You're welcome to ask questions or anything. I can't guarantee we're going to ask them, but we'll be glad to interact with you guys. So, let's get started with topic number 1. I have a few good ones here, and of course, as always, I have my surprise topic. So, topic number 1, Nintendo and DLC. After being ridiculed for years, particularly with the Wii, Nintendo has finally started embracing DLC. Now, we got it first with Mario Golf. Of course, now, when I say they got it first with Mario Golf, I mean like season passes we got with Mario Golf. They've also announced bundles of Mario Kart 8, throwing out lots more content, season pass with Hyrule Warriors, and maybe even Amiibo kind of rolls into this. So let's just kind of talk about how you feel about Nintendo DLC and where you think it can go and how they can expand some of their games. Let's start this off with Rashidi.
All right. It's relatively simple. It looks like Nintendo took their time and kind of watched what everybody else did, and they kind of see what worked and what didn't, and they came out with their own version of how they do DLC. The current nickname for that we've been using is add-on content. Is they've applied the different ways, like you said, with the Mario Golf and all the stuff like with the Mario Kart DLC, as well as Amiibo is kind of sort of DLC. I kind of got caught off guard because I got sidetracked, so I apologize in advance. I'm not quite here, but as I was saying, it looks promising. They seem to give you more bang for your buck. There's a few questionable moments, like with the Hyrule Warriors, but technically that's not Nintendo. That's Tecmo Koei, and that seems to be a pattern anyway with the Super Mario Warriors series. So I wouldn't really worry too much in regards of that. Nintendo's kind of embarrassing on everybody else with the way they're going about the DLC, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah, that's the thing for me is, when other companies actually announce that they're going to do a season pass, they're like, well, here's the season pass for $25-$30, and we have these 2 specific DLC packs announced, and maybe some more, but we don't really know yet. And Nintendo's like, well, here's what you're going to get. We're going to have this many packs planned, and we want your like $15-$20, and that's it.
It's like very thorough, very thought out and planned before they announce it.
Yeah, and then you have to factor in they also drop random free DLC as well.
Yes.
A lot of their games.
And they give tentative dates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of the things I like, too, building off of what you said, Good Shepherd, about how it seems like they took their time before they started rolling this out, it does sort of feel like, with the criticisms that people said where Nintendo isn't doing DLC and they seem to be behind the curve on this, it almost seems as if they were waiting to really perfect it, and it might have taken them a while to get here. But now, like you said, they're almost embarrassing everybody because it seems like they're doing it better and giving us more content for less money and sometimes free. That's pretty sweet.
Exactly.
Is the adage slow and steady wins the race, I guess?
Yep. Sounds accurate.
Meanwhile, over at Electronic Arts Land...
we don't even need to talk about that.
So, how do you think... this might factor in with Amiibo. Do you think the DLC and Amiibo go hand in hand? Do you think they're kind of their own separate entities? I mean, what do you guys feel about that?
I think they're going to start as their own separate entities, but it's more just the potential you can see. It's like these two different worlds where there's like DLC you can download for your games, and then there's the Amiibo figures that have interaction ability with the games you buy, and why couldn't they kind of merge down the road and you can release DLC that works with your Amiibos or that comes with an Amiibo? That's kind of what I could see happening, where an Amiibo not only gives you like the Smash Brothers ability, for example, to build that character that figure is, but also it comes with something else that then downloads into your Wii U to enhance the game as well. Stuff like that.
Also of note, and this is just, like I said, this is speculation on my part, imagine if they did like an updated version of Nintendo Land, and you use those Amiibos, and those activate all those other extra events.
That'd be cool.
Just a thought.
Especially they patch online into it, which we know they're capable of.
They need to, because Nintendo Land is a lot better than people think it is. If you just go online and play all those games, oh my God.
I agree. It is pretty good.
It's underrated. It's really underrated.
Nintendo Land with online would be a killer app. I don't understand why it didn't have that from the beginning.
I think that what happened was, I guess the lack of online stuff, I see that. I think as far as some people's reaction to it is just because of like the bad taste left in everyone's mouth with the E3 thing, and I think that's why it didn't take off as well, and it didn't make people excited about the Wii U right out of the gate like how Wii Sports did, because there was this bad taste left in our mouth from the E3 thing, which sucks. It's too bad.
Wii Sports was both a fluke and a phenomenon at the same time.
It was insane. It was crazy how much people got into that.
Oh, I know. It's like, it went viral with people like breaking their TVs with Wiimotes at the same time.
Isn't that funny? It almost worked in Nintendo's advantage that people were breaking their TVs because it gave them crazy press, and everyone was like, "Wow, you break your TV with your Wii? I gotta go buy one of those."
Yeah, I remember that.
Live action.
Exactly, and the news was reporting the TV breakages, and people were actually on like the Today Show and the Tonight Show actually playing the Wii. Like, oh look, we're playing baseball and bowling with our TV at home. We can be just lazy bastards now.
Yeah, so we're burning calories, I promise. So I think that like building off the other thing you said too, like with Nintendo Land, that's a good example where like if you could take your Kirby amiibo, for example, because there's nothing Kirby related in Nintendo Land, and you have a Kirby amiibo, and then that could download into your Nintendo Land like a Kirby related event that you could do, and then bam, now you've got a whole Kirby world in Nintendo Land. Like, and that's just one good example of what, like, how it's not so much. It doesn't have to just be the games talking to amiibo. It could be the amiibos bringing content to your games, and vice versa.
Kirby!
And like it's writable data, so like you could add all kinds of extra content onto the amiibos themselves. Just the possibilities are endless.
Wow. Yeah, I think Amiibo really does open up a lot of possibilities. I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, and I'd kind of like to have Charizard driving a Mario Kart.
It's gonna happen.
That has to happen.
Is it bad that I want to see Squirtle speeding down the track?
That would be so funny.
Squirtle is amazing. He is the king of all Pokemon.
Oh, it has to be the one with the shades.
Yep.
He's too cool for school, man.
Word.
Go on, Rashidi. I heard you like Mudkip.
Meanwhile, back on Earth, comma.
Back on Earth. ...
Sorry, I have to quote old internet memes sometime. It's like part of my contract for being alive. So
makes sense.
Anyway.
So if I can add another thing too about going back to the DLC thing though, I think that something else that I heard on another really awesome YouTube channel that I follow is somebody who was kind of making the case that with some of the DLC stuff that Nintendo is doing, it's less about. I'm trying to remember what words he used. It's not like it's more completionary, you know, like it's not so much like. It's less completionary and more additional. So it's not like your $60 game wasn't complete until you spent another $15 on this new DLC. It's that Mario Kart is already a complete $60 experience, you know, packaged, ready to go. And now here's other stuff that's not completing your game. It's adding to what was already completed. And it seems like with Nintendo stuff,
content.
Yeah, that was what you said that made me remember that. Is it's not completing, it's adding on to what is already complete. And like no one else is doing that. It doesn't seem like, at least, and it's pretty cool that Nintendo finally is doing it and doing it right.
Right, because I mean, a lot of games that come out these days seem to be. I'm not going to say they seem incomplete, but they seem like there could have been a lot more to it, and then the DLC later, you know, kind of builds on that. I'm going to pick on The Last of Us for a moment here, and I always pick on The Last of Us. But
no, my heart is hurting.
It's not going to be bad, I promise.
Okay.
But you know, because the thing is that The Last of Us, when they released the Left Behind DLC, which actually I really enjoyed. I enjoyed it more so than the regular game itself. But there were concepts and things done in the DLC that was actually it takes place during a chunk of the game where it's not there when you're playing through normally, so it kind of fills in blanks and also flashes back to the past of the characters. So I know the PlayStation 4 version has that built into it, but I mean that seems like something that would have actually helped the game a lot, in my opinion, had it been there from the get-go. And that's the kind of thing that I usually seem to run into when it comes to DLC for most everybody else.
Do you think that more applies to stuff that's so strictly story-related, like how The Last of Us is? Like, it's not so much that gameplay mechanics weren't included; it's that a part of the story wasn't there.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. In Last of Us, though, there were some mechanics. I'm just going to say mechanics, just kind of generalize it there. That were in the DLC that weren't really in the main game itself. Plus, you didn't have any AI, like, you know, getting in your way in the middle of everything.
That's true.
But
yeah.
For an example of that with Left Behind DLC, one thing that was done that I never ran into in the regular game was there was a section where you kind of sneak into a room and there's a bunch of the infected below you, and then these hunters walk into the room and they're like, "Oh shit, infected!" And they start like slowly backing up. Yep. And I was like, "Fuck that! I've got a bottle, smashy." You know, the infected are like, "Ah," and just like run after each other and they start like fighting and killing each other while I'm like picking them off from behind.
It's true. I guess almost to a degree like that, it almost could have felt to you that maybe that stuff might have even initially been included in the game, and then they pulled it out to release it as DLC later or something.
Yeah, because I mean that was one thing I ran into playing the main game was I wasn't terribly immersed most of the time because, you know, for one, I had AI issues constantly where, you know, I was trying to sneak around and be stealthy and they were sprinting around like madmen, you know, right in front of the enemies, even though they're not pulling them technically.
Yeah.
But in this, I didn't have any AI, and then the enemies were actually interacting with each other as I would have expected. So had they put more of that in the main game itself, or really any of that, I think it would have been, in my opinion, a better game.
In that sense, it sounds like they actually did do the game, made the DLC, and had an idea or an epiphany. It was like, ooh, let's do this, and then they never put it in the actual game.
And that's
the way you make it sound.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then, you know, so you're sitting up here making a game, you forget something, you end up making the DLC next, and then you come up with the idea and you totally decide not to put it in the game, yet you're talking to the public and telling them that they have DLC coming. And it's like, why would you do that? Put whatever you find in the DLC. If you come up with a new idea, put it in the game. You still have time. You haven't released the game. If there's no, you know, specific date, then add those content, add some of that little, you know, fun stuff to the game as well. And it's not going to take away from the DLC, but it's going to show a big contrast between the game and the DLC. You put more effort in the DLC than you did the game. What the hell?
See, that's the key word. You just said effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as Wii U owners, we know how much effort third parties put into things.
I know. It's like, don't put more effort in your downloadable content than you would your freaking game. Or you get a game like Destiny, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, but a lot of people don't seem to like it. I don't play first-person shooters, never played the game, so I can't speak on it, but it just seems like there's a lot of things missing that people were misled to believe, so yeah. And a 10-year game, what is that all about?
Yeah,
I don't understand that, because if the consoles aren't going to last but for 6 years at tops?
Well, actually, They intended for the Xbox One and the PS4 to have a 10-year cycle this time around. They actually announced that.
Yeah, but
It
they're
was a
outdated
plan for a
already.
while.
So now
Well,
what?
Yeah.
well, I'm not saying. I'm just telling you what they said. I didn't
I know.
say.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing, and I'm saying
Come
what
on,
I
Good
know.
Shepherd, who do you really work for? Tell us.
And I'm just throwing out some questions. If everybody else is also saying that both of those systems are already outdated, then yeah, 10 years. You guys are reaching. Just saying. But
I can't
that-
remember what YouTube channel. Yeah, I can't remember what YouTube channel I heard this from recently, but they made a very, very good point. They said that the Xbox One and the PS4 being already outdated was not a design flaw. They were designed to be outdated on purpose, and the reason for that was, for one, these systems have already been able to, at least on Sony's end, have been able to turn a profit because they cost less to produce. So, because they're in the PlayStation 3 lifetime, Sony didn't make like any money off the system, not until like the very end of it.
Very, very end. Yeah.
very end.
Because it
Oh,
cost
yeah, I heard about
so
that.
much.
Let me
Yeah.
get
And
my
even-
money.
Yeah, and even the Xbox 360, because particularly because of the Red Ring of Death thing at the beginning. But even though it was like the top-selling console for like 4 years between it and the PlayStation 3, it still wasn't turning that much of a profit. So Xbox One and PlayStation 4 being underpowered were by design, so that they could turn more of a profit, and maybe they could have a shorter console life cycle, or just altogether kind of flow with the market and get out of consoles in 4 or 5 years. Because, I mean, we already know that Sony wants to go that direction anyway.
Yeah. That's an interesting idea. It kind of makes me go in a couple different directions off of that, because the idea, first off, of them, maybe purposefully making sure that they're slightly underpowered so that they can make more money is almost borrowing to a less extreme extent of what Nintendo was kind of been doing with both the Wii and the Wii U, where it's like, I mean, we can say how much we love those systems, and, I love both of them for sure, but, there is the obvious fact that by comparison, each of them were the less powerful of the three consoles at their respective times. And part of that reason was, honestly, like, we know it wasn't just like, oh, we don't know how to make hardware anymore, so we forgot to make it really powerful. It was definitely because they saved money and they made crazy profit on the hardware because they spent less to make it slightly less powerful. But
you also
then,
have to sorry, go ahead.
no, that's okay, man. You go ahead.
I'll just say you also have to factor in they're all about efficiency. Like they'll choose specific parts and test it and modify it so that they can get more bang for the buck, and that way they could make a profit and sell their system at a cheaper price.
Sure.
So-
There's no doubt that I thought the Wii was quality, even stacked up against the PS3 and the 360, and the Wii U is my favorite of the consoles right now, so I obviously think the quality is still there, even if it is less powerful.
It's the Super Nintendo reborn, honestly. That's how I look at it.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Well, wasn't the Super Nintendo more powerful than the Genesis, though?
It was far more powerful.
Yeah, I
actually.
think the
That's why
Genesis
I
was-
a big Sega fan.
Yeah, I love the Genesis, but I think that the Super Nintendo was more powerful. But the Genesis, and this was the joke about blast processing, but I think it was actually a faster running machine. Is that right, Jamie, or am I wrong?
It was.
I thought it was.
I
It
believe
was faster, but it was. Sorry, go ahead, Jamie.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, you're right on track there, Rishi. I mean, I believe it was a faster machine, but I mean, overall, it lacked the processing power, especially in the sound
In
department.
the sound, yeah, big time
Yeah.
with the sound chip, yeah. So
It's like that
Well-
guy who takes off and he almost wins a race and falls flat on his face.
that, everyone knows that guy. So,
But,
the other thing that makes me think of too, Jamie, when you mention that is, and really good, Shep, too, how you started that conversation is like, I feel like, yes, okay, so people talk about the PS3 and the 360, or the PS4 and the Xbox One may already be like underpowered, or they may already be outdated, quote unquote, and like, I don't know enough about the tech to know if that's true or not. I'm sure it's kind of true. I'm sure people who say that know what they're talking about. But I also feel like if we also borrow from Nintendo's model, that if a system and the company behind it makes the right decisions, makes the right games, and brings everything, just makes that system and delivers on what it needs to be a good gaming console, it won't even really matter. Because if the Wii U makes it 6 or 7 years down the road just because it's got great games, no one will care about where the tech stands in line with other tech around it. And I think the same could happen with the PS4 and the Xbox One. If those companies just make it a really good system, who cares about the power? But that's just me talking, and some people really do care about that stuff.
Right.
So-
I think the key thing with Nintendo Nintendo is, they've effectively set the Wii U up for what could be a short life cycle, like 4 years, 4 maybe 5 years. By doing that, because at the rate of speed that technology is increasing in power these days, particularly mobile technology, the things Nintendo could possibly do in the mobile and home console realm at the same time with similar technology, it's astonishing and mind-boggling the things that I think of that Nintendo was capable of if they properly utilize it and put enough thought into it. Because, everyone's talked about the whole Nintendo Fusion thing, which I have said this lots of times in the comments section, and I want to reiterate it. Like, in episode 2 of Gamers at Large podcast, I described exactly that. And then, like, a month later, someone took it and ran with it and called it Fusion. It was like the exact identical thing. But anyway, I'm not going to split hairs here. Anyway, but I expect Nintendo is going to do something like that with a fusion of both handheld and console, and with the increasing graphic technology of mobile. And I think that EA was talking to their ass recently when they said the new iPhone was capable of PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, that's graphics. Already about it. Kind of been debunked.
Yeah, I figured as much. I haven't looked into it, but I just kind of said, oh, well, that's bullshit.
I've already seen it in action. It's a powerful phone, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't think it even needs to be. Like, who even cares?
I know.
Like, why does it need to be?
It's whatever.
These people are. They make.
Just let them have it.
They make something out of nothing, really.
I know.
They can have it. I'm not gonna.
But I want to use the Microsoft Surface tablet as an example here, because I'm kind of looking at a Surface Tablet 3. Maybe sometime next year, but previously with the 2, I had seen posts on Reddit by a particular user who got Battlefield 4 to run on his Surface 2 tablet.
Wow.
And it looked, I couldn't see the frame rate because it didn't have video, but from still shots, it looked like a PlayStation 3 game, maybe slightly downgraded. And he said it ran at about 25, 30 frames a second.
Ouch.
So, if that's what a tablet from, a year and a half ago was capable of, what are they going to be capable of in another 3 years?
Sure. You got to think the more time goes on, like the mobile devices are certainly going to get closer and closer. And I think there's no doubt that eventually we will have that tablet or that iPhone 9 or whatever that's going to be right on par with whatever current system it is. That can and probably will happen. But it's a matter of if phones end up really needing to compete against the console market the way some people, like Michael Pachter, will happily tell you, like, oh, the mobile market's chewing into the console market. It's like, no, it's really not.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go in that direction simply because it's been proven time and time again that outside of certain games, they don't make enough profit for them to really focus that much money into video game processing.
Exactly. And I think what we're going to see, particularly from Nintendo, is their successor to the 3DS is going to be a movable beast. I have no doubt about this. It's going to be probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they drop the 2-screen concept and go with just like a kind of a game-dedicated tablet that could interact directly with your TV, so you can play either on the tablet or you can play on the TV. Maybe it interacts with the Wii U, or it interacts with the next console, or the next console is kind of a blend of the two. Who knows? But I think
that would be. Let me ask you this. I would almost maybe even see that idea as a third device, going back to that super ancient idea of the third pillar, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that tablet thing with how there's like touch features on the Wii U and the handheld 3DS. So if they made a tablet thing, it could almost work in conjunction with both, and it would be a third thing to have, and you would buy your brand new 3DS, whatever that next one is, and then the next Wii U, and then you also have the tablet. Like, that would be kind of cool.
And here's something I want you to think about, because we know through Nintendo's history that every time they've released that third and final hardware revision of whatever their handheld is, you know that there are some features that make it into their next handheld. And with the release of the new Smash Bros. On 3DS and the new 3DS, you're able to link up the 3DS with the Wii U and use the 3DS as a controller on the Wii U Smash Bros. So that, to me, as well as some of the features that are in the new 3DS, as well as the extra analog nub, kind of points out to me that Nintendo is truly looking to fuse both their console and handheld market together while still having two separate devices.
That's actually something that I had a lot of thought about. And yes, guys, hey, how's it going?
Hey, that would be Mega Gamer Man that joined us late.
What's up, man?
Hi. All right, but anyway, the thing is, it's like I do believe that they'll do that in a way soon because it's like imagine for the new, let's say Mario Kart 9 or whatever they put out for the handheld and the console. You go outside, right? And basically the games are intertwined with each other where, you know, they connect with the handheld and basically any data that you collect from Street Pass outside or, you know, if you go to a Nintendo Zone if they keep that service going and, you know, you keep going out there and, you know, just walk around with your new Nintendo handheld and then come back home and then when you come back home when your system is on standby because I bet everybody's going to be on standby anyway. But the thing is, when it's on standby, when you come in, the 3D, I keep calling it 3D, the new handheld will automatically connect with your console to show any new ghost data, any new things that people were to share, new Miis, probably even new leaderboards, probably new you know, software titles that are recommended for both the console and the handheld. So that's the way I can see where this is going. But the fact that the new 3DS is starting to be the new prototype for the new anyway, it's called the new 3DS, but it's the prototype for the new handheld.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what I'm seeing because
5DS.
Exactly. It's like you'll be able to go to different dimensions, and but it's like you know you'll be able to with a new 3DS you'll be able to connect to your multimedia stuff on your PC and your hopefully I think your Mac. I'm not sure. Probably it's just a PC thing, but you'll be able to do that wirelessly. Just transfer data and stuff. And also, you know, it's going to have a hardware upgrade, so, you know, more of using the web browser, using more of the friends list. Hopefully they can use more with actually using our Nintendo Network accounts as for, like, friends list, right? So, I mean, it wouldn't get rid of the friends that we already have on the Nintendo 3DS. So what would happen is, like, you know, they would have to at least bump up the cap to, like, 200. Because, honestly, they can do that.
Yeah, easily.
So the thing is, they can just bump up the cap to 200. We can keep all the friends that we still have, plus the ones that we added on the Wii U from the Nintendo Network, and everything becomes connected. So that way, you know, not everything's separate, because they already are showing that they're trying to do connectivity with the eShop accounts being linked. So now if you put money into the 3DS, it's basically available on the Wii U. So you can spend it both ways. So that's why it's like, I can see this with their next handheld and console, where it's really going to be connected both, and you know you're going to be getting data for games that, you know, are not for the handheld but for the console for when you go outside and then come back home. So let's say, okay, I'll put this in a better idea. You play a new game that's made for that console, for the new console only, right? But when you have your handheld with you, which would be the controller, I guess what they're going to go with, so if you have your handheld with you, basically it's going to start transferring that data software from either like, if you're like, all right, example again, Mario Kart, it's going to transfer your ghost data and everything right onto there from the game on the system itself, on the home system, and it's going to be transferring to the handheld. So once you go out, it's Street Passes, and then you come back, and then basically it goes to the whole, you know, it basically starts a cycle over and over again.
It's like an ever-connected Nintendo universe, basically, wherever you go. Yeah.
Basically.
Now, I got a couple interesting ideas all of a sudden. Now, because we know that Nintendo likes to try new tech, like, in advance before people realize it's really a thing, like the whole glasses-free 3D.
Mm-hmm.
What if they hooked up with Samsung and they made a clamshell design for their next handheld system, but it was a tablet with a flexible screen, so it would fold up like a clamshell, but when you unfold it, it's got a full tablet screen.
So that there isn't, like, the break between screens, and that both
Exactly.
screens are actually touch sensitive.
Exactly. So it would be like a 6-inch tablet, but would fold over like a 3DS.
That's a pretty great evolution of the 3DS design. It would be like the ideal next step, I think.
What would they use for that? Because right now, the only thing I could think of that would apply that would be graphene technology, which still has a long way to go.
Well, what I think of is, like, I only just started playing the Smash demo like 2 nights ago, And what that makes me think of is like, you know, when you select your characters, that's on the top screen, and I instinctively like press the character I want. I was like, oh shit, that's the bottom screen. Duh.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? So like, that's what that makes me think of, which is pretty cool.
All right, it's just for the new one.
Touch screen all around.
Yeah, definitely. If they for the new one though, all right, if they're planning on putting Smash on the new handheld again, make the analog made out of titanium or something. I'm scared right now whenever I play that Smash demo, and I'm gonna be scared when I get it. So remember, titanium or Nintendium, whatever you like.
Nintendium. I was gonna say adamantium, but I like Nintendium.
No, Nintendium is the strongest substance ever created in all the multiverse.
It's also Superman's only weakness.
Nokia phones and the N64 made of it.
Well, I'm going to use if I can, use the D-pad. I'm a D-pad for fighters, even for Smash Brothers.
You can't.
So I'm really hoping.
No,
Damn it!
no,
I hope
not
that's not true.
I wish.
Oh, yeah, in
You
the
have to
demo
use the
you
analog.
can. But I'm hoping the final version allows it. But if not, then I'll deal.
Control change.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping.
All right.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. That can make sense, I guess.
As far as the screen tech is concerned, I mean, the way Samsung does their flexible screens is it's OLED technology, organic LED technology.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's the way that Samsung has done. I mean, the LG Flex, that's what it uses. But I mean, the Flex is just kind of a basic Flex sort of thing. So it doesn't do like full. I mean, you wouldn't want to fold these things anyway, but it does Flex. So the LG phone in particular can't really be smashed or anything like that. Well, I mean, you can still smash it, but you know, it's not gonna break as easily as like an iPhone would, just because it does flex.
Because it has give with it, yeah. It's got give.
Exactly, because it doesn't have give. But what I'm thinking of would be if you pick up your 3DS XL and you open it up, it's like the most of that screen territory would end up being. I mean, most of the front of the 3DS would end up being screen. So it's
like a tablet, you
get more screen and you get full touch abilities. Nice.
Exactly. So it will be a clamshell tablet. So when it opens up, it locks into place, and you'd have to press like a little button to unlock it to fold it back up. You know, so you're not going to just accidentally fold it up when you're in the middle of doing something, or fold it the wrong way. You know.
Yeah, and it could be similar to like what you were talking about with having a tablet that works with the console. It could be both the next step of their handheld and the next step of like the Wii U controller for whatever the next console is too.
Exactly.
So it could do both. That's pretty cool.
See, that makes the most sense to me. I'm going to guarantee you right now. I'm going to make this guarantee. The next, if Nintendo does their own version of a tablet, they're going to have either a heavily modified Android OS system or their own personalized OS system that is built around Miiverse. I'm going to guarantee
they'll have
that.
their own. They're going to have their own. It almost wouldn't be bad.
They're going to have a Nintendo equivalent of like Google Play or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean that would make sense because Nintendo doesn't really like to pay anybody royalties for anything. So
see, I was going to say that, but I feel like they probably wouldn't do this because they don't like to pay people for royalties. You're right, but I feel like there could be an advantage if they wanted to really start breaking out of their "we live in a Nintendo only world" kind of mold. And if they announced something like we have partnered with like Samsung or something like you said, I mean, I think it would just make the world take notice in a different way, and different people outside of the gaming world would take notice of them too. So there could be a benefit there if it was handled right. So.
Yep, and Nintendo has got to do something different and radical to capture the mobile market.
They will.
With a gaming-specific device, they absolutely have to.
I think you agree. I think you agree. I think I agree with what you said. I can sentence, I promise. But I do agree with you, basically.
All right, so are we all talked out on this topic? Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, well, that was only one topic. We kind of rolled into like 5.
Wait, that was only the first one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I brought my tangent magic in. Perfect.
It rubs off. It rubs off.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one, and I know that Rob's going to prepare for tangent here, so I'm going to toss it off to him first.
Okay.
All right, so online-only games are starting to become a thing. Destiny, The Crew, The Division, no. I'm sure there's more that are coming. But what I want you guys to think about also is that Microsoft was quite literally crucified when they revealed the Xbox One to be online only. And now we kind of have games that are coming in back door and nobody's really being bothered by it. So, can we expect a lot more online only games? How might this impact gaming as a whole? What do you guys think of these games and so on and so forth. So let's start off with Rob, because I'm sure he's got some insight into this.
I do, and I know you asked me because I'm like really big into Destiny right now, but I don't first think of Destiny when I think about this thing. And I think that with the whole thing with Microsoft was a little bit different than what we're dealing with now, because with Microsoft, it was, as we discussed before we started the podcast, that was more of a console that was building its entire model and around this idea and basically telling you, all of us, all of the gamers, this is how you're going to enjoy your gaming experience. We are now controlling your gaming experience. It's this, and deal with it. And that's why people went up in arms. With the online-only games, it's still not a great practice yet. I don't think it's the right way to be going quite yet, but I think that it's the part of the reason people aren't reacting so harshly, like you said, Jamie, is because when it's a game-to-game decision, it's a little bit easier, I think, for people to swallow, or maybe not even just notice. Because it's not, this is a console and it's the only way to play a console. It's, I can have all my games offline, and then I have this one game that's only online. But that being said, I mean, obviously some people like us are still noticing that it's happening. We notice games like The Crew and Destiny. I went through a whole debacle the first 6 days I had Destiny, which is a game I am loving, where I couldn't even play it because I had server issues, and it's like, I can't even go through the story in Destiny because I can't connect online. And I was like, this is kind of bullshit, and I was really upset about it for a while. But, you know, I still do think that the other thing we talked about was that this is kind of a way of maybe the game companies retroactively trying to put the online-only thing back into gamers' hands because we couldn't get it with the Xbox One because everyone fought against it. As far as where the future goes, I mean, I love Destiny, but I do agree that it kind of sucks it has to be only online. It sucks that the Division's going to be only online. But I think
I
that
did not know that.
Yeah.
Dang.
I think that we could be getting into a future where, honestly, eventually this is probably going to become the norm, and it's a matter of if it's 5 years down the road or 15 years down the road. I hope that it's a slow burn, but I don't know. Go ahead.
I can't game that way.
The only way I could do that is if we, in America specifically, because we get this, apparently the rest of the world got much better internet connection than we do. If our internet connection went way higher, like if we got an average of 25, per up and down on average minimal at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's more feasible. But right now, there's gonna be a CF every time.
Yeah.
A new game comes out that has online.
The infrastructure can't really support it yet. You're right.
We need more.
No, that's the problem. Yeah, that's what occurs to me every time. Every time I hear like a rich review tech go on and on about, online only is going to be like the future, and this is going to be the future.
It is. Not the present.
It's not going to be right now.
Future.
Unless Google Fiber comes out to everybody, okay?
Not happening yet.
I will be so happy and be like, okay, this is not a problem at all. But for now, it's like, so people who basically, all right, they live, let's say, out there in like, the middle of nowhere where it's like, let's say those trailer people, right? No offense to everybody.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. There you go.
You're making fun of my trailer.
No.
No offense to anybody out there that lives in the trailer. It's actually kind of cool because you get to like travel and everything.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Especially the way they make the new ones.
Yeah. Like people who are live in the trailers and also journey out a lot with those RVs that basically are like mobile homes. They're really not going to get that kind of internet connectivity. So it's like if they get a PS4 with Destiny, they're not really going to be able to play on the game because you need internet connection. And one of the games that I was really looking forward to, which was The Division. That was like one of the last Ubisoft games I was ever gonna get, but yet, boom, they just hit it where always online. Sorry, it's like
I'm not getting it either.
So it's like if a huge storm comes, because over here in the east now we're getting all these hurricanes out of nowhere. So it's like if this huge storm comes, then what's gonna happen to my internet? So can I play the game? No. I know there's many other games I want to play, but if that game comes out like that day, and yet 3 days later, I'm still playing the game because it's new, it's still out there, it's some new experience to me. Yet I can't play it because of internet connection. Then what the frick,
Well, let me
here's my concern with it is basically right now we have a variety of different games. Some are you have to be online, some you don't, and all that stuff. My concern is me being a person that I don't always like to play online. Are they going to start making games like this where they all have to be online? Where you even if you're offline for even a second or whatever, like if your internet's out.
Well, as long as you have a Nintendo system, you'll be fine.
Well said.
Yeah, if the power, if your internet goes out, all right, well, I'll just play the single, offline mode. No, you can't do that because you have to be online, and that's BS. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, and that's what happened to me with Destiny. Is again, like, I like that it's always online just because I like that game specifically. But when I was having server issues and I couldn't play that game, it was affecting my ability to play even what could and should have been a single-player experience, and that sucked. And I do want to play devil's advocate for a minute though too, because Mega, you were saying a minute ago about The Division, and you were like really excited for that game, and it's like the last Ubisoft game you want to get, and I'm right there with you. I think the game looks amazing. So you already know the game looks really good, and part of what makes that game look great is how you're playing with other people. So I feel like moments like that kind of present a small case for how a game being always online can make certain games better if they're built around that idea, like The Division seems to be. So it's kind of a double-edged sword sometimes,
Now, don't get me wrong with any of this, because to be honest, and guys, just be honest, and all you guys that are watching too, you guys, okay, who in the freaking world does not have their console now these days not
hooked
connected
to the internet? Yeah,
right.
That was what Adam Worth said.
Right.
That got him kicked out of Microsoft. But you're right. It's a true
yeah, but he was being a dick about it the way he was going about
oh
it.
yeah.
Like, the thing is though, the whole always being online thing, I can understand.
Right.
But the thing is, it's like, who does not have their console, connected to the internet at all times whenever they turn it on? At least people who, live in a house with internet, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can understand if, it's a bad idea when it's like you can only play it when it's online. So I can understand that because, not everybody, even in America, does not have internet connection.
Right.
It's pretty true.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Go. No, I was thinking of something out loud.
Yeah. So it's really just. It really is like a double-edged sword, like you said, because it's good at the same time, but bad because trust me,
Totally.
my Wii U, my PS4, my PS3, never have them offline. Never.
It's true.
I
Dude,
never do.
If I turn my PS3 on to just put a Blu-ray disc in, and I see that it's not connected to the internet right, I'm like, hold up, we can't watch this Blu-ray till I get the internet working. Even though it doesn't make any sense.
So my question with The Division is the single-player mode like that? Like.
Yep.
Oh, see, that's my thing. That was going to be the first time I actually got into a shooter.
The thing is, nobody's even sure if it's actually a single-player mode. They're trying to actually make this into
now they're just getting rid of single-player mode altogether. That's even better.
It's basically... Just look at it as like a Titanfall situation.
Some of us just like to play by ourselves and don't want to have to deal with the crap.
Yeah, that's why. You see,
they're basically getting rid of like a lot of the. Some people just really do like to play on their own. I don't have a problem with it from time to time, and I do like to play online. But Jesus, you're taking away my options.
Well, if you think about it, it's an excellent hustle because if they don't have to put as much work into it. So
for the single-player person.
Yeah, so they put it as a social thing, and when it's a social thing, people could play for hours upon hours upon hours just messing around.
See, and I'm loving Destiny, and part of the reason is because I have all these people that I can like run into.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that, and I have nothing wrong with that. But
it's a little hustle.
Yeah, and then you just leave the single guy out, like skip them, they're not important. Like kind of we kind of want to play the game single-player mode sometimes. We'll get online from time to time, but I don't know, whatever.
Just trust me.
You're gaming
I won't be getting into shooters anytime soon.
Just trust me. I would be so pissed off if Nintendo just went like, we're putting the new Legend of Zelda always online.
Oh, hell no.
They will never do that.
I wouldn't do it.
I'm just saying.
They won't do it.
Because
a lot of us wouldn't buy it. We'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Why?
definitely.
Well, honestly, Good Chef made a point because he's like, honestly, just play your Nintendo system because it's true.
Yeah,
They will probably never do this.
Yeah,
No, I don't
they actually will not actually.
Or by the
because-
time they do it, most of us would be already in the grave.
That's true.
So, hey, have at it at that time. I don't care.
What do you think, Jamie?
Well, I don't think Nintendo is ever going to do always online. I mean, because they have, as long as they remain by the same company ideals they've had forever, they want to focus on making sure that you can have that golden offline experience. They really need to expand their online experiences, but at the same time, they want to make sure that you can enjoy your games offline with friends and family and so on and so forth, because a lot of people still do that. So, Nintendo's not going to go anywhere with that.
No
Yeah.
way, dude. What are you talking about? Everybody's scattered across the world and only connected online alone.
No one ever talks to anyone in person anymore.
Exactly.
No.
At all.
I sit next
Hi,
to people
Mom.
and text them.
No,
It's gonna be
you're
like
sitting-
Wall-E
you're-
in 10 years.
Yeah, you're sitting you're on a date with someone, and the chick is over there on her freaking cell phone texting it up. You're like, lady, do you mind?
I bought you these potatoes. Are you?
I
gonna
mean,
eat them?
I nothing. No. Okay. Guess what? I got a text message for you. I'm going home. Jesus.
Jeez.
I mean,
Yeah, I think it just comes down to the double-edged sword of if you
Yeah.
force it on people, especially as a console, it's a huge problem. The occasional game thing seems like they're just weaning it into where they're weaning gamers into doing it and seeing if it'll take off. And honestly, Destiny being a huge hit sales-wise is not going to help the case.
No, not at all.
It's not.
No.
Not at all. So what are they gonna do once they get all this whole online always whatever the heck on going and everybody's used to? What do you think their overall plan is for that?
They're gonna reinforce DRM. They're gonna make
Oh yeah.
games.
oh, that's already happening with.
They'll have to. The PC market still has that stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
they're used
already
to that,
actually
but-
happening. You know.
But do you
Yeah,
think
look,
that's something that we should have in the console market? Like, do you think that's what we should be having?
No,
No.
not at
This
all.
DRM
Because actually, I could say it's actually already happening for the fact that
limits our
you
options.
know, Minecraft
yeah.
on the PS4. You know how you can usually play Minecraft, single player, right? Offline.
Right.
You can't. So on the PS4.
Oh
So,
wow.
Is that the only console version of that game that's that way, do you know?
I have to check
Or
with
are
the
they all
Xbox
done?
One.
It'll be
It's just-
shifting soon.
Yeah. So it's like so far on the PS4 is basically the console where you have to be connected online, as far as I know, in order to play that game, or else
Well,
it
there
will
were-
lock itself up.
That reminds me of the rumors about E3, not this last one, but the one before, where people said, honestly, the PS4 was maybe supposed to do a lot of the same
Oh, it
things the
was.
Xbox One was going to, but then they
Oh, it
changed it. 'cause they
was.
said-
Oh yeah, they were.
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
sure.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think
Look
that
at all
30 minutes
those-
That's why they
later?
picked that slot. They were checking to see what the Xbox was doing. They were like,
Yeah.
okay, they didn't seem to like that idea. You guys, get back to the drawing board on that one. Fix that
Like,
shit
what do
right
you
now.
think? Exactly. What do you think that 30-minute delay was
Yup.
for?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
They had
turned a
to-
blind eye to it too.
Yep.
Same
Everybody
with
was-
the price, too. Same with
They're
dropping
like-
the price
Mhm.
lower than the Xbox One.
Everybody was having happy thoughts because it's like, oh, it's only
Well, Sony doesn't do it.
it's because they were actually supposed to put the camera in there as a bundle,
Yep.
Mhm.
and it was supposed to be $500
Yep.
with no game,
Mhm.
and basically there you go. There's your
Preach.
console with DRM,
Preach.
Yeah.
with
Gamers aren't
all
supposed to be
your
able to think, though.
always
You know that.
online stuff. But that's why it's always good to be last.
I mean, that's what they do. One is doing something, the other one's gonna follow suit. Think about it, you guys.
Unless
look
you're
at- I mean, look
Nintendo.
at that.
That's the beautiful thing. Nintendo basically is
Nintendo
like...
doesn't count. That's why I don't even bring them up.
It's
I don't
great.
even bring
They-
them up because they're
they
not
removed
Them-
involved.
yeah, they removed themselves away from that.
Nobody,
they're in their own
they're so
category.
irrelevant to this
It's
whole
so
console war
brilliant.
thing. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Just
it
for
is.
like whatever, y'all can have that.
Yeah, I'm just like, because the thing is, everybody keeps bringing up this stupid console war garbage.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is
I'm
it?
fine with it that you guys want to put this in your head. Like,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead, do that.
Okay.
But it just, I'm just gonna tell you this: it does not exist. Okay, it's all.
It's
in
more
your
like
head.
a-
It's
it's
a
more like a-
smokescreen for the companies to use against us to implement their
Well,
little.
that's the funniest thing, though.
It's
That's
very
all it is.
true.
The companies
they
don't even
didn't
care.
start it, and that's what's fun about it. They didn't
No,
start
but
it.
the thing is, you know what's funny about it too?
They don't have
companies-
that shit going.
Companies
yeah,
don't
they-
even care.
Yeah, they have each other. They have each other's consoles at their homes and all that stuff, friends
sure.
and everything. And you got these little fanboys and fangirls out here just screaming and hollering over a toy. Really?
Mhm.
No. It's not a toy. It's
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 a
a
toy.
mature entertainment for
It's a toy.
hardcore gaming.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And this is me. And this is me toward all of them. It's a toy. Shut up.
Exactly. I had a rant about this a few months ago.
Do it. Rant again.
The freaking
Oh
toy.
god, because here's the thing people don't realize. I'm going to try to make this a short rant. Is no matter what you're playing, no matter what system you're playing imaginary. It's all imaginary.
Oh.
We're all playing made up games. So whether you want to go play soldier in some random make believe war, or if you want to play Italian plumber jumping on various mushroom shaped turtle things. Who are the hell?
But soldiers
it
are
is
still
real.
more badass, and therefore that makes you more badass and mature.
Get in the military, and I'll tell you something about that. No.
Exactly.
Hush.
I know that's why I laugh every time I hear all those conversations. I'm
yeah,
like,
we don't go. You're not in
I'm
the
like,
military. You
I'm
don't know
like,
what
been
it's
there,
about.
done that. Have a
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah.
Gee,
So-
it's so ridiculous. I mean, I don't care what you're playing. I don't care what system you like. I don't care if you're a PC Master Race. We're all playing make believe.
Right.
That's what we're
and
doing.
It's all just fun and games and enjoyment. Well, I had hoped so, but some people want to turn it into other things that it's not at all.
No,
It's-
because
I mean, we all take it seriously. It's just a matter, like, to what level you take it seriously.
Yeah, and there's a certain level of seriousness you take it. I take it to a certain level of I'm concerned for our community because I would like to see all of us get along and get over this whole console war crap. But then you got some that take it to an extreme. It's like if you just don't like Sony, or if you just don't like Xbox, or even if you just don't like Nintendo, screw you, dude.
And that's
freaking
when you
life.
need to quit your hobby and
Yeah,
start
that's like
something else.
calm the hell down.
Yeah.
Take a breather, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and it will be okay. Or I will put you in a padded room. Because it's crazy.
The end.
It's supposed to be fun, people. Remember that.
It's supposed to be, but I guess they forgot somewhere along the lines.
If you're not enjoying yourself and you're too busy arguing,
You're doing
with
it
these
wrong.
battles,
You're doing it wrong.
wrong. Exactly.
Doing it
You're
wrong.
doing it wrong.
ah, jeez.
But it is what it is, and that's
Stop
why I
arguing on YouTube and put down the mic and pick
don't
up the
feed
controller.
the trolls. Just don't feed them.
And yet we have people on YouTube, like someone I'm not going to really name, but
Yeah, let's keep that out of it.
his channel rhymes with Mitch of Preview Mech.
Wow. wow.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I actually kind of like that channel from time to time. So
You see, that's the thing.
And
Sometimes
sometimes he's cool,
it has
and
its
sometimes
moments.
he has his moments. You can't fault the man. He's just speaking his mind, and I'm okay with that. Speaking your mind, saying your piece.
Mhm.
I may not agree with you, just like he may not agree with me, but I don't think you should like jump on him too often because he's just a dude speaking his mind. It's not
Honestly,
like
the only thing I want to say about
Yeah.
it is I'm more than I just don't hate him. I actually really like that channel. So that's just me.
Like, I
That's me.
don't-
I'm a
my
big fan.
only gripe
like,
with
I used to
that
be
channel,
subscribed to him, but
I support.
he
He
needs to
helped
take his
influence me to
criticism
want.
better.
Yeah,
yeah.
he helped influence me to start Rule of Two Review kind of the way I did because I liked how his format was and
Mhm.
how open-minded, and I think he seems very open-minded and genuine. I don't always agree, but that's everybody.
Right,
So
and
that's
I
what
like
I watch every new video and I'm excited to watch it. So that's just me.
See,
I don't
that's-
watch him too often, but he's cool. He seems decent. Doesn't seem like he's out there to spread hate, malice, or anything.
Yeah, I don't
Just
think
a
so.
dude.
either.
Did you
Yeah,
get your
just a dude talking.
Lies bundle? Sorry.
Just a dude talking. But from time to time, he says some things that I'm not too in agreement with, and I'm just like, okay, I'll click off of this
Right.
and go do something else, which
We probably
most
all
people
do
need
the
to learn
same.
how to do.
Yeah, we probably all do the same. There could be people that watch
if you
our
don't
videos
like
and
what
it's like,
somebody says, just
Yeah.
click off. That's all.
Yeah.
Not that
Right.
serious.
Let me air my grievances in particular with that channel.
Mhm.
What I really dislike and what really frustrates me is that in one breath he'll say people need to stop harping on about resolutions and console wars and blah 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 blah, and in the next video make a video talking about, well, PlayStation 4 resolution for this game is higher than resolution for this game.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
And
does
he
do that.
literally is stoking the fires of resolution and frame rate wars while trying to say, hey guys, stop bitching about resolution and frame rate wars.
At the same time, people are gonna
he
glom
does do
onto
that a
that.
lot.
They're gonna glom onto that whether he says it or not. They'll find somebody else to do it. So, and personally, people who are doing this war thing or whatever, that's them. That's their ignorant minds glomming onto some crap that don't exist. And I could say something today, and people will hate me tomorrow, and I could care flying fuck about it.
We need to
Sorry,
get rid of
excuse my language.
this fake war, man, is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm so over the moon on that. I don't care.
Yeah, no excuses needed for language on this channel, so don't worry.
Fuck
Just
yeah!
Make sure there's children listening. No.
I'm sorry, sir, but that is not very
Very
Do it
polite.
aside, Doctor.
Oh, well, excuse my French. Oh,
Keep it up, I'm going to break into a rendition of Uncle Fucker from South Park.
Oh, please do it. That needs to be
on.
your new video intro.
moving on.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. Alright, so, seems like we're talked done on this one. I got one more topic, and then we're going to do the surprise topic after that. So, kind of going into the whole console war thing, kind of, sort of. Now, here's what I wrote down here. I'm going to read it verbatim, and then I'm going to kind of go off, kind of explain it a bit more. But how can our perception of consoles impact real-world sales, and how can the Wii U be a failure when it routinely outsells the Xbox One? The thing about this is, you know, we perceive certain things, like the PlayStation 4, for example, is perceived to be the most powerful system, perceived to be the most popular. As such, people are going to gravitate more towards that system, when in the meantime, we perceive the Xbox One to be less powerful, and people kind of want to, again, go away from that system. At the same time, people are saying, well, the Wii U is a failure, and that's how it's perceived, but it still outsells the Xbox One. So it's kind of like, how can I explain this?
I think it's a popularity contest.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I'll throw it off to you first, one.
I mean,
Expand on that a bit.
Yeah, I just think it's all just one big popularity contest. Whatever is the mainstream thing to do, people are gonna glom onto that and follow it. So the PlayStation right now is the big, hey you guys, if you don't have a PlayStation, you're not the cool kid. And you know, Nintendo is the little nerd in the corner that all the cool kids are beating up on. That's pretty much how I view it. And it's just kind of stupid to me, and I don't understand it. But at the same time, if we all would just put down the freaking guns and swords and whatever heck else is going on out there and just open our eyes and look around and be like, they all have good qualities to them.
Preach.
They all have something to bring to the table.
You go, sister. Sorry.
We can take back the market ourselves. We can take back the industry and demand the games that we're looking for, that we keep complaining about and screaming about. Because right now it's in the hands of third parties, and nobody seems to see that crap. And I don't understand why. So right now it's bully Nintendo, and Sony's the cool kid on the block, and Microsoft is just the guy following behind the second-hand dude following behind the cool kid. He's just a yes man. Hey, what's up? That's how it goes. That's how I look at all this.
That's a good analogy. I think it's the media spin on it, honestly. Because, because to tell you the truth, all the numbers.
Media. Sorry.
But it's the whole weird issue is that when you bring it to like the Wii U and Nintendo specifically, is that at this point people have this idea in their head that the Wii U is a failure because the first year when there was no other competition on the market, it didn't do very well, which is totally true. And at this point, I know, and at this point. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One have come out. The PlayStation 4 has done really, really awesomely, which is great. Congratulations. I'm happy with my new PlayStation 4, so that's cool. Mm-hmm. And like the Xbox One, people have this perception that the Xbox One is also doing better than the Wii U, and it's just because of that first media spin where that first year the Wii U wasn't that strong. But at this point, as of right now, the Wii U has 2 million more units in people's homes than the Xbox One does. Like, the end. And like no longer do those numbers even matter. People seem to still be gravitating towards this idea that the Xbox One is still the second most successful console, when at this point I feel like the initial races have all leveled out and everyone is like kind of paced out to like all three consoles are selling at the way that they're selling, and which could almost mean that in a year or two the Wii U could still have more consoles in people's homes than the Xbox One. And that's too bad for the Xbox One because I think it looks like a good machine I want to own.
Don't worry, I'm going to get one.
Yeah, right. Like I think it looks great, but people should at that point. At what point do people start understanding? Like, okay, well, now we have the places of first, second, and third, and is it fair to look at the Wii U as a failure just because that first year was slow? Like that first year should kind of like be removed from people's memories at some point, and then all three systems rest where they rest.
You know what I think it is? Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I was just gabbing. Go ahead.
But you know what I think it is with the whole Wii U is a failure type of deal? You know how that whole thing where everybody wants the Wii, I guess they want Nintendo to pack it up and go third party because they want those games on their console so bad.
Yeah, that's probably what
that's all it boils down to is everybody wants Mario and Zelda and all of that on their PlayStations and Xboxes, and they will not admit that mess, so they want them to go third party, and I'm just like, you guys are ignorant. Nintendo is not.
Listen, I got a good story.
Go ahead. Take over.
Now, my friend, okay? I got a bunch of friends like this. They're like, oh, I don't want to get a Wii U because, all they got is Mario and Zelda. I don't want a 3DS because it's not really, there's nothing on there. Guess what? One of my friends was really, thinking about getting a 3DS. What happened? He got Monster Hunter. He got Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
He got Fire Emblem. He got Pokemon. He's enjoying it.
Of course.
Other one, Wii U. Buys it. Wind Waker. Freaking waiting for Smash. Bayonetta 2. Hyrule Warriors coming this week. And, he's ready. He's ready to go in. And he got Mario Kart.
Of course.
All that.
It's just people want. I don't understand people.
It's just for real. These people just don't. They always try to come up with these excuses for themselves, being like, "No, it's just because it's kiddie, and then guess what?
Whatever.
And then if it
doesn't look kiddie to you. It looks
the thing is, if it came to the PS4 and Xbox One, holy God, they would be on that like crazy. It would just be like, "Oh my God, this game's great." Huh?
What about that game Rhyme? It looks a little
looks amazing.
Wind Waker-ish, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wind Waker-ish, but it's okay to have those.
Man, Rhyme's only gonna sell one copy.
Well, I'm not worried about what it's gonna sell. I'm just saying it looks similar to Wind Waker, and it has that childlike quality about it. But nobody's screaming and hollering about that. But
yeah, exactly. That's why
Nintendo
gotta love that Nintendo double standard.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy, and it's getting so fucking old. I want to snipe everybody. How about that? I want to snipe all of them. How about that? It's stupid.
Careful, I'm sure she's capable, so don't piss her off.
Yeah, I had sniper classes.
So what do you guys? Let me throw a question out to. Let me throw a question out to everybody. How do you guys think in, let's say, 3 years? How do you think the sales will be as far as, if you want to put places on who has the, first, second, and third most systems sold? Do you guys think any places will change?
I think,
Nintendo might get more.
Now the thing is, there's two ways they can do this. Alright? Two ways this can happen. First, Sony still becomes first, Nintendo is second, and Microsoft's still third. And that's something because the Wii U would be at least 1 million away from the PS4. And the Xbox One would be at least like 3 million, 4 million away from the Wii U.
So you think that the Wii U might close the gap on the PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
I think the Wii U is about to do something awesome.
Now the second way this can go is that the Wii U could just outsell the PS4 darn outright from next year. From all the titles we're getting next year.
I think that's possible.
More announced.
Smash,
next year.
Zelda, Chronicles.
Exactly.
So, and a bunch of hidden titles because they're going to drop at least 3 surprise titles.
Yep.
I think if they have another killer E3 next year and they really show a lot of other brand new titles coming out that no one knows about, especially if most are exclusive, I totally think that is all but guaranteed to happen. Actually, I would agree.
Metroid, Star Fox.
Oh please, don't even tease me.
Freaking probably F-Zero.
Oh, they're bringing all that out.
Oh yeah.
The thing is,
I have one gripe with Nintendo, and it's off. I'm gonna say it. Although it looks like they're starting to remedy it, they need more RPGs. Damn it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I agree with Chef. Like full 100%. No, a full 200%.
And fighting. They need more fighting in there too.
Well, we're gonna get that.
Fighters.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. We're gonna.
Yeah, I would like to get like Mortal Kombat or something on it. Cause
we're getting we're getting Smash. We're getting Pokken Fighters. You never know. They might even do something with something to relate with Mortal Kombat. Do it with the Villager. I would love that. Do it with the
Villager combat.
Here's a thought. I think
Villager's fatality. Freaking axe, bro. That axe.
I think they're probably gonna start trying to crawl back to the Wii U
Oh,
sometime.
you know what?
I think that's gonna happen.
Right.
Watch.
I think you're definitely right.
They don't. It ain't ready. And
this is the way it's gonna go.
Follow the policy that Nintendo sets. They're like, look, you can come back, but you have got to follow our policies because we're not gonna fuck with our customers like that. And if you can't handle it, guess what? You still got Microsoft and Sony over there. So hey.
I think if Nintendo like once or twice a year pulls something like they did with Bayonetta, where they have a third-party game company making a really quality exclusive game. That's all you need to do, man. Like all their first-party stuff is already golden. If they have one or two third-party games that are like secured a year, even like stuff like Sonic and Wonderful 101 and things like that.
I recommend they revive Contra.
Yeah.
I am all about.
Oh my god, Contra would totally wreck.
Contra, Conduit, man. I would love a Conduit.
I love the Conduit, dude. Oh my god, I have both those games.
I would love if they brought that back. That'll be a good at least.
Contra,
like if we get Conduit,
revive
think of it. If we get Conduit,
if we get the
Conduit, and we get Metroid, we don't need Call of Duty. Screw Call of Duty. Like honestly,
Devil's Third next year.
Yeah,
Devil's Third. Thank you. That's
Devil's Third. Look at that. We have another shooter. So basically, Call of Duty, I don't care at this point. Actually, it was like what, like 3 games ago. I did not care. So it's like
sure,
but
but people do care. So like I hear what you're saying, but it would be good for Nintendo to be able to have that game and stuff like Assassin's Creed on their
system. People like to feel they have variety.
Yeah, and I think they should.
Even if it's garbage, they still need the option to get that garbage.
But the thing is, the reason I say that,
by the way,
garbage.
The reason I say that,
garbage on Nintendo.
The reason I say that is because, well, our recent encounter with Activision with The Voice, yay. All right. So that's why I'm really saying where it's like, okay, so they're gonna give us The Voice 2 next year instead of COD.
That was just
because they're basically doing this right now.
Yep.
Because for real, it's like that's why it's good for people that like that series to like get it, but it's like to be honest, I don't think it's coming at all.
Wait, which series? I missed. What series are you talking about? Back to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I honestly think that Call of Duty is like done until probably the next
system.
The next system, or when they are desperately in need of money. So it's like that. I mean, that's the only reason they would like release a COD actually, because they just go for any platform and for extra money.
How about this for an idea? How about Nintendo just get a small selection of people from those various third parties like that have Call of Duty and all that, just make a completely different freaking first-person shooter from Call of Duty.
I mean, they're already
I thought about that same thing. Yeah,
they're already making a shooter.
Yeah, forget Call of Duty. This is all new.
Yeah, I think we actually are going to get this Advanced Warfare, because if you actually read what Sledgehammer Games said, they specifically stated Activision did not ask them to do port to the Wii U. Now, Activision has actually had different companies do Call of Duty ports to Nintendo systems before.
Right.
So just because Sledgehammer said that they weren't asked to port it doesn't mean that we're not going to get it, because they didn't really announce Ghost last year either until it was like a week out from launching.
No, it was far away.
They actually said that in summer that it was coming.
It was July. Yeah,
it was like July. The thing is now, if they do it now though, it's really bad. The fact that everybody already has everything else, so it's like there's no reason to get caught on this because people already got pre-order for that stuff, and right. So if like they announce it,
back in the day, Super Nintendo and Sega had their own version of the same game.
It's like, man, good times.
If we don't get Advanced Warfare, it'll be the first Call of Duty in 7 years that hasn't hit a Nintendo system.
It's pretty. Well,
you know what? It's just like. People that like the series, I mean, if you own a Wii U, I'm sorry, but if it doesn't come, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Because to be honest, we're getting shooters, and trust me, if they brought back the Conduit, if they brought,
you don't get a Mega Man game, then you just gotta deal with it.
If they brought back, which they are, Metroid, right? Metroid Prime series, right? That's gonna be another first person. We already got Devil's Third. We already got another shooter, Splatoon. So it's like we are getting these shooters. It's just it's not Call of Duty.
It's not Call of Duty.
Yeah,
It's not
something.
Things like
it's
that.
not the type of shooters they're used to, more or less. And
so trust me, I understand.
You have to open your mind and check it out.
So trust me, I understand.
Go ahead.
Like the thing is, I understand why that people want this series. I understand, but it's like honestly, at this point, I honestly think it's not coming because this is.
No,
if they
I don't think
announce
it's.
it now,
I don't think it's coming either.
At this point now, they should have announced that like back in July or something. Because at this point, there's no reason to even announce it because it's not even gonna. There's no reason at all because right now we're 1 month away actually just from the launch of Call of Duty, right? So it's like, and also, what are you gonna choose? Call of Duty or Smash? Just saying.
Smash.
Oh, Smash.
Well,
I'm getting both, but Smash is priority.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
You're gonna be playing Smash.
All right, you only have $60, right? Well, plus the tag, right? $64 or whatever you tag.
Right?
You have the total amount. You already have the total amount of money. No, but this is just a question.
Yeah.
You already have the total amount of money, right? For just one game, you can get Call of Duty or Smash.
Smash.
I don't know why you keep asking that question.
He needs to hear it. Let him hear it. He needs to hear it.
I just have to put it out there because it's just like for Wii U owners, you know what you're gonna get.
And if you say you're not gonna get that game, you are lying to yourself. Stop it. Slap yourself.
You're gonna get it. It doesn't matter what. I don't care if you get it new or used. It's just you're gonna get it.
Right.
It does not matter because it's really just. That's why it's like I really don't care at this point if COD does not come at or not. Like I know there's people out there that do, but it's like we're getting Bayonetta 2. We're getting even though many people don't like it, but I'm still gonna get it. Sonic Boom. We're gonna get Toad's Treasure Tracker. We're gonna get Smash Brothers, and then starting off next year, first quarter Splatoon. So that's gonna be the next shooter right there. And then when they announce it at E3, another shooter which is basically gonna be Prime, hopefully. Then there you go.
Man, I don't know.
I have
so much to say on that.
I've never played that game.
Well, that's why I said hopefully. I didn't say.
I want to hear from the other guys. What do you guys also think?
Collection actually
They should so freaking do that. I think we will get more HD remakes for old Nintendo games. We will get a couple more, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, for games that are more justified, not the whole this game came out last year and here it is again. It's something like the Wind Waker, which was like 11 years old, and it's like okay, that makes.
Or like Mario RPG, or Chrono Trigger, or Secret of Mana, or Illusion of Gaia.
You see that's
Square.
You see that's why I would have liked freaking Tales of Symphonia, the HD remake on the Wii U.
Oh man, it was the best game.
Stop.
So why couldn't they do that on the Wii U? I had no reason.
Honestly, Sony's had a history of those happening though, like those games and those remakes, and the Tales series, with the two Symphonia games as the exception. Like they have been pretty much PlayStation 3 games, like PlayStation games. So
that is true.
It's just been that way for a while. I don't think that was specifically a slight against the Wii U. It sucks, but it's been that way for a while.
Yeah.
But the Tales have been faithfully on the handhelds though.
And the 3D, yeah, that's true.
It's been since the Game Boy Advance days.
Yeah.
Actually, it might even be before then, because I remember playing Tales on my Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. So it's like. We are getting all these games. It's just like at this point, also, people right now should not expect anything from third parties much.
No.
All right, they should really not expect much. I mean, the only thing we're gonna get basically is that stupid that we should burn the voice and Just Dance. That's basically the closest we're ever gonna get because we're not even getting Assassin's Creed, and that's something. We got the other two, but we're not getting this one. So but at this point. Yeah, but at this point, I really don't care. It's like they're milking the franchise. So it's like,
pretty much.
So really, don't expect much from third parties unless it's some kind of collaboration like Bayonetta 2 or Devil's Third. Just at this point, like really, just don't expect it. So go out for the games that you really like for the system. Not everything's gonna come because third parties, but. Just enjoy what the system has, because trust me, next year.
I'm on my gaming.
Because trust me, next year is gonna be Right now, my wall is being destroyed, but next year, my wall is even gonna be more destroyed because, especially Xenoblade is gonna destroy my hours. Okay,
yeah.
so
I got something for you guys.
Yeah.
Are you guys like how When have you been as happy as you are to have, you know, a Nintendo system back in the day as you are now? Like, are you guys like super happy to have your Nintendo systems? Or
I'll tell you straight
like,
up.
I'm having fun.
I've never been as happy with the Nintendo system as I am with this one.
This
Like,
is
I am
this is
over
hands
the moon.
down. This is my hands down my favorite Nintendo system.
It is. It's just, it's great.
You can get everything. Well,
I mean, the thing
you're
is,
still
they
waiting,
finally.
but yeah.
The thing is, they finally do something for the people, right? They finally at least give you an option. I mean, they actually have buttons like a regular controller, right? They finally give that to the people. Of course, then, you know, they're just like, oh, it's still weak and everything. But yet, what do they also give you? They
And
give
gimmicks,
you,
too.
They give you, oh, that too. They give you another option too, the Pro Controller.
You
know,
have like
there's another option.
what console has all these different kinds of controls to interact with your game, other than the Wii U? Come on,
Exactly.
like
And
that is what next gen is about.
Exactly.
Being able to innovate and have different options. You mean to tell me in the next gen I can only have one controller from similar to the last
Coupon.
gen? Awesome.
Coupon, I'm gonna have to disagree with you for a second because this light bar on the PS4 controller is just so revolutionary. Okay.
I know.
No.
The best thing
touch
it
screen.
does.
Nobody else does the touch. The touchpad.
best
So you know, it is what it is, and
The
that
best
connects.
thing about this
Looking
is it
at
drains
you
your battery
while
faster.
you get dressed,
All right.
like take a shower.
Best thing about this light bar is it drains your battery faster. That's the newest feature ever.
Well, it's
so
supposed
I
to
really
work
like
with
it.
that Oculus thing. I don't know what that is. I don't. The
Yeah,
other
it's
one.
The PlayStation
Morpheus.
Eye.
The Morpheus.
PlayStation Eye.
The
Well,
Morpheus.
So,
So we're in
yeah,
the,
you know,
we're
it's
in
just-
the Matrix now. That's what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, that's their like VR headset thing.
Oh Jesus.
I super want to try it.
I mean, I got motion sickness. I can't do all that. I'm good.
yeah, that might not
Yeah,
be.
you
It's
can
not
have
for
it.
everybody. It's not for
Yeah,
everybody.
when they make it like actual virtual reality, like holographic type shit, like in gamer, hell yeah.
Virtual Boy
I would love
2.0.
that.
Sorry.
If we have a system like a little room where you go into and it's like that movie Gamer, I'm on board for that. Except for I don't want real people to be my, avatars. I'd rather them be just, but that'd be awesome. But
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, because you guys know I have a bit of an analytical mind. I sat down one day and I kind of figured out the Wii U is mathematically the best Nintendo system. Period.
period.
Based on what?
Well, it's just come a long way, I say, coming a long way from what it used to be.
Well,
Basically,
Jason, when you say that, what do you mean? What do you mean?
What I mean by that is, for one, based on the games that have released for it. For two, the entire Wii library is playable on it. For three, all of the console games available on both the Wii and the Wii U. For four, we're going to be able to actually hook up GameCube controllers to it soon.
Yes.
So, I mean, when I say mathematically, I mean the number and the quality of games that are playable, because on the Wii U, you can play almost every generation of Nintendo game on it. And
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and even some of the previous competing systems like TurboGrafx and Genesis. I want Dreamcast, and I want Saturn, and I want...
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
yes. Oh,
If
yes.
Nintendo does that, brings over
just-
some of them Sega games, awesome.
The Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast, hands down. I gotta give you props, Jamie. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way.
I still
dude.
have my
Yeah.
Sega Saturn, man.
It's
I'm
just
so
you
glad.
know they
Oh,
really
yeah, see?
like this is the system where it's basically honestly all systems in one, because you have everything. You have like all the virtual console. That's why like for the next system, I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, what are they gonna freaking do for the virtual consoles? Like, it's really just you have Wii software, you have DS software, you have Game Boy software, Game Boy Color, freaking everything from Nintendo's history, and that one system next
The
gen,
next
it's gonna be able
system's
to
gonna
handle.
have PlayStation and Xbox games on
Watch 3DS. Watch 3DS. I wouldn't be surprised.
Connected with the
You
Wii,
gotta
I'm
give
pretty
you
sure
gotta give the
one.
Wii U. You gotta give the Wii U props for being the only backwards compatible system too.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Seriously, that's so great.
Now if
What
they
is
would
wrong with
just
people?
region unlock.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me, but
But
it does
that's not
bother
that
some
big a
people.
deal.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
that
bother
ain't
me
really
that
that big a
much.
deal.
It's a big deal to some people, but it's not to any of us.
It'll
It
be
doesn't
nice.
sound, but-
It'll be a nice little addition, but it's not something I absolutely have to have.
Well, I would just be happy if they give us the
Or give us one of
access
the-
to Japan.
Yeah, if they would just do that, I'd
Japan
be happy
version,
about
I'm
it.
good.
Yeah,
And-
just bring some of those games over here, and hey, you have my wallet raped for another so odd years.
I see like 4 or 5 years from now. Now announcing PlayStation Now available on Wii U.
Like right now, I don't even own my pockets, my bank account. It's just got Nintendo stamped on it. Click.
Yep.
Pretty much.
You belong Nintendo. Damn it. Fucking.
See, and I feel that across the board though too, because like I just plunked down for a PlayStation 4, and I'm super happy with it. I'm excited for whenever there really is a lot of great games to play on it.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and I have a ton. I have like 13 Wii U games and like 20 more to buy. And I really, really, really want an Xbox One by the end of the year because I want to play Sunset on Overdrive. And I want to play the Master Chief Collection. And
yes.
Scalebound
And Killer
is a
Instinct
Platinum
and
Games title
Scalebound.
that's exclusive to the Xbox.
Scalebound
I
was good.
really want an Xbox One.
And I think there's a lot of
wait.
games
No, wait,
coming.
Legend of Korra.
See, I never.
Ori and the
alright?
Blind Forest, by the way. Oh my god.
I
Oh,
say
that's
this a lot,
beautiful.
but I
Yeah.
never played Halo before. Okay?
You are crazy,
So-
man.
I know,
Neither
because the
have
thing
I.
is, the reason why is because I never preferred an Xbox console. I never got a 360 because I just didn't want one, you know?
You did miss out, man. There were some great games. Some great
Blasphemy.
games.
I know. But it's like, the thing is, though, now I'm going to get an Xbox One. I'm going to get, of course, Sunset Overdrive. I'm going to get Master Chief Collection and then Halo 5 when that comes out.
Yes.
You know,
Halo 5.
Scalebound,
Oh my
all
God.
that stuff. Because,
Not a
for real,
first-person shooter type of guy.
my PS4 so far has been good frying pan and that's all it's good for right now. So, honestly, I try to go back to Infamous, but it just honestly, I
I really want to play it. So do you not like
I have
Infamous? 'Cause
16
really
Wii U
want to play it.
games. Sorry.
Oh.
I had a ADHD moment. You guys keep going.
You know, it's just for real. You know, the only reason I have the console really is because of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy now because I had
Pretty
it for
much.
Infamous.
Same here.
Because I had
waiting
it for
for
Infamous. Trust me. I love Infamous as a series. I always loved that series, but it's like they disappointed me with the latest one.
Didn't you crush it in like 3 days flat?
Yeah, I destroyed that game within 3 days. I platinumed it. I did everything with it. It was done. All of it was done. So
There's not
it's
a lot of
like-
replayability with a lot of those kinds of games, even though they're great for the initial playthrough.
No, but you know what was the greatest thing that happened with Infamous 2, though? You get to create your own levels, share them online. You get to do, there was more missions that you could do. It was a bigger open world. You know, it was actually bigger than the one here in Seattle. You know, this one was really a downgrade. So
I
that's
think
why
it was
really
a matter
disappointed.
of trying to prepare that game in time for like the next gen playthrough.
Yeah, that's why I
Probably
was
what
like,
happens,
they
yeah.
should have
That
taken their
stuff
time.
happens. You know?
They really should have taken their time. So, now this console's here just because of Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy and Type 0. Because I'm going to get
See,
that.
I'm actually, and I'm a Little Big Planet guy, so I cannot freaking wait for Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
That's like
Still
a
have
system
never
seller
played
to
that
me.
game.
They're so good. There's
It's
so
not
much
bad.
content. Oh, they're
I
amazing.
actually like playing Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about it kind of freaks me out. I don't.
Yeah,
You
I-
must try it. It's pretty
It
good.
reminds you of
I think
Five
it's-
Nights at Freddy's.
No,
What,
it's
Sock
I
Boy?
think it's that sock boy. Something about him is familiar from my childhood that freaks me the hell out, and I refuse. And that's
Probably
just
like
me.
a Raggedy
But
Ann doll that get ripped apart
yeah, I
in a
think
horror movie or
something like
something.
that. I remember seeing that character from a long time ago. I'm gonna find out.
Oh,
Like,
you saw him
I've
in
seen
your
him before.
nightmares.
No.
Your nightmares.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just something about him.
I get it.
But
It's a
it
great
looks
series.
But it does look like a fun game, though.
Yeah, I only played the first one, and I made one really fun stage, and I was in the process of making a masterpiece for my second one, and just kind of dropped it. Like I made
Bummer.
per a friend's dare, he was like, "You need to make pachinko, but with like a midget." And I'm like, okay, and I did, and it was glorious.
I'm just
Nice.
saying, what the hell? Conquer?
I know.
Can we get a real Conquer game, please?
I know.
Microsoft.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
I mean,
happen. It's
like-
done.
No,
That's
sorry.
just insulting to put him in Project Spark like that. Hey guys, I'm just kind of here floating around.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Oh, jeez. And the second stage I was gonna make, it was gonna be glorious once it was done because it had to be satirical. It had to be funny and satirical, and it was terrorist training camp. I never quite finished it. It was gonna be amazing.
Damn it! We never knew what terrorist training camp was really like.
I know.
You got to go back and do it.
I know. It's like the whole point behind the stage was like you would go from point to point and you would be commanded like you need to do this and go, teach the infidels, and you would always blow up right before you'd accomplish it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I know. It's like drive this car to this building, and there's like a bunch of little terrorists like jumping in the background, like yay, and the car explodes like 5 feet from the building.
Oh man, it's not too late. You can do it.
It still cracks me up to think about it because it was so stupid.
Yeah. But that's what makes it good, and the fact that you can do it makes it awesome.
Yep, exactly.
Did you ever go through any like the user-generated stuff that other people make too?
I did. And I was really impressed with a lot of it. Actually.
Dude, yeah, that's where that game really has legs. Like the 2 campaigns in the first 2 games were great in and of themselves, but all that stuff that you can go through and play through is amazing, and it's really like people are really creative. And I think that that's something that I wish people were tapping more into, like that user-generated stuff, more so than like the DLC stuff for games. It's awesome with Little Big Planet. I'm telling you, it justifies your $60 just in and of itself.
Especially in first-person shooters, I think that would be an awesome idea.
Yeah, it would be hard, but I'm sure they could do it.
Yeah. I think they did it in Devil's Third. I think they have something like that.
Yeah, Devil's Third actually
really?
spend a lot on that.
Oh, yeah. There's so much content in that game. It's ridiculous.
That's third person though, isn't it? Isn't it only third person?
No.
Or is it both?
First and third.
First and third, yeah.
I think I've only seen third-person gameplay from it. So.
Yeah, they mostly did it in third person.
If you got time to kill one day, Rob, like about 45 minutes, go to the Nintendo channel and look up their Treehouse presentation for Devil's Third.
Oh, okay.
You will not regret it. It is fantastic.
It must be like the only thing I missed from E3 because I took that week off and I had it like streaming on my computer the whole time.
It was like one of the last things they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that as soon as we're done here. To tell you the truth, I'm really excited. Yeah,
it's awesome. Check it out. So,
it has some silliness on that.
Yeah.
On that. I was like, what the hell?
We should bring on the surprise, Jamie. We're ready.
Yes, I think we're ready. Before I do that though, I just want to address. We got a few questions from one user in particular, Tony Kaname Kuran. I want to thank him for his questions, but we don't have time to answer them, unfortunately.
No.
So
sorry, guys.
Wait, not even one?
Just one?
We've got a few. Okay, hold on.
You should humor him at least one.
All right. Actually, no, here's a good one. This will be quick. Now that Hyrule Warriors is going to launch in 3 days, which character will you be playing first after your day one purchase?
Oh, I already have the answer.
Midna.
Midna. I agree. That's exactly my answer. Midna.
Oh!
Way too freaking cute for me to deny.
Kuban technically has the game.
Boy, I'm getting Ganon. Ganon, I'm sorry, that's my mom.
Super Saiyan Ganondorf for the win.
Him. Forget everybody else. Move out my way. The boy coming through.
Saiyan 3.
About to get ghetto on you.
See, I'm a little torn here. I'm a little torn because
who are you picking?
Right offhand, I'm gonna pick Fi.
Okay.
Fi is my choice. Fi or Fi, Fi for fun, whatever.
I call it Fi. I call it Fi, Ben.
Yeah, it's Fi.
I thought so, but also I'm really anxious to play Lana because she has an adorable character design. It looks like she has a lot of personality.
She does.
In her moves. So.
It's hard for me to want to go for her first because she's new. Like, I think it's great that she's new. But when my first character, it's like, it's got to be someone I already know and love.
Oh, yeah.
And Midna, I am just like, I'm right there with you, Mega. I can't even stay. I love her so much.
The only
because don't get me wrong, I love Lana because that's actually my next one. It's like, because I like the whole pop girl thing that's going on there. I don't know why many people hated it because they're a bunch of douchebags, but
I think it's fine.
I'm a villain.
Well, it's like I just can't wait to play with her because once she did that wall jumping thing, I'm just like, all right, Ninja, all right, doing it.
I couldn't wait to get my hand on him because that was my dream since playing.
Yeah, Ganondorf is gonna be great.
Oh my god, it's gonna be awesome.
But I still gotta go Link as my
the
second.
way he wielded that blade and he kicked open that treasure chest like a boss.
He
just kicked open that chest like pow.
He's got a big old I don't give a fuck sticker on his forehead.
That's
like,
true.
Just get out of the way. I got shit to do. Move.
Jamie, we should do one more question before we get to the surprise. If there's another one to pick from.
Yep, he sent me a few here.
Okay.
Basically, he has 3 questions, but one of them has disappeared, so I'll just ask this one. Since Final Fantasy 15 is 60% complete, do we have any words or status on Metal Soft's Xenoblade Chronicles X?
No.
Well,
there has not been like a word since E3. It's
like on development now.
That game is like quiet right now.
Yeah, I mean
they have not really seen anything.
They've stated it's on track. It's not delayed or anything. So they're looking at I believe, a mid-2015 launch for USA.
I'm sure that'll stick to next year. I've said it before in some of my videos. I really doubt that both Zelda and Star Fox will stick to next year, but Xenoblade I think will. I think it absolutely will.
Xenoblade will, because from what I saw, man, once I saw that world, alright, you know what? It got me hooked because it reminded me so much of Final FF14, Realm Reborn. So I just went for it. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking that game's going to be done by next year. I'm going to be saying it's going to be coming out spring. I'm going to be saying that.
What percent did he say that Final Fantasy 15 is at? What did they say?
60%.
Oh, 60.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, especially for a title that's been working on for 8 years.
Hey,
you know, I can understand. I can understand though, but what really made me happy was Nomura is finally on Kingdom Hearts 3. So we're gonna be expecting soon a trailer maybe next E3.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts!
So that's gonna make me go squeal like a little fangirl.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm doing a fangirl dance right now.
Yeah, I'm just happy enough that Nomura is now, you know, he's giving it to, you know, the people that are at least left with working on the title, so that way, you know, he can go focus on Kingdom Hearts 3 and get that moving.
Kingdom Hearts.
I mean it. I need that game right now because I honestly don't even know how this saga ends. I need to.
Yeah.
I just need to. So it's really just I've been waiting too long for this game. Don't make it a Legends 3, please. Just
it's really nice.
I kind of hope it ends here. I really don't want to keep it.
It's not gonna end.
It's not.
It's actually.
No,
he's like,
can we turn it into like a TV show after this?
No, it's
No,
an arc.
it's gonna be-
It's the first arc. There's multiple arcs.
Oh, god damn it. I don't know, but I guess I'll jump on board. Whatever.
But yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
So,
Yeah, I'm not really excited for Frog Fantasy 15 personally.
What?
Yeah, I'm not excited.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that.
I wanted, but my enthusiasm has shifted because I'm a hardcore old school RPGer, and this doesn't look like Final
that's
Fantasy.
the thing. I actually explained that today. It's
no,
like, you know,
I heard you in the conversation with Twilight, and I disagree with everything you said.
Basically, you were wrong.
No, it's
feel free to try again.
It's like it really is. You know, I would say it's not bad to have a change for that. You know, it's like yes,
No.
who else is directing you? Who's the one that was
Let me
directing
explain
it?
something to you. If they named it something else, I would have no issues with it. It's a Final Fantasy game. That's why I have an issue with it.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, Final Fantasy games,
because you never played.
I think a good game is a good game.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I have played all the Final Fantasy games.
Every single one?
Yes, 1
My
to
apologies.
1 to 7, and then 8 to freaking.
Really?
Oh, I hated. Yeah, I hated
forgot
freaking.
who I'm
10
talking to games.
So
Yeah.
you're
Freaking-
slandering
hello.
him, Rashidi. That's not fair. You're slandering him.
Yeah, jump into conclusions.
I am totally
thing is,
wrong in that regard.
So the thing is, I understand many people, many of the old fans with Final Fantasy want the old turn-based back. I understand that, but it's not that bad to have a change with one game. Because look at 14. Everybody loves that game. You know, that's not even like your traditional side, role-playing, turn-based game. It's basically where you just have to press a button and it just attacks, right? Here, and people love that game. So here, it's like they're trying to implement, somewhat of the Kingdom Hearts system. Because
the 14 image is based off of MMORPGs, and it's a modified engine similar to that of 12, which I didn't really have any issues with per se. What this looks more like an action RPG. Like you just, that's where I'm like, I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind action RPGs.
See, that's why I'm excited for 15. I think
I love action RPGs.
15,
I have no
I'm
issues
telling
with
you.
that.
But you just don't want it to be a Final Fantasy
It's
game.
Final Fantasy, the way it's always been up until the last couple titles. It's always there's a different element of strategy involved with turn-based. Like you kind of make a decision, and you plan things out. While these other games, you're just kind of running around smashing buttons. There is some strategy involved, but it's more like a more modified hack and slash.
No, the thing is,
Kingdom
like,
Hearts.
what they showed. Now I can tell that is like way in development because those AI were too dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, those
Nice.
AI were way too dumb.
Well, here's the
Okay,
thing,
so-
though, is the producer, I can't remember his name exactly, but I saw an interview
Tetsuya
earlier.
Nomura?
Yeah, I think it was Nomura. It might have been somebody else, though. But he actually came out and stated that they were looking to simplify Final Fantasy 15 as much as possible. And
that's not the right. I hope that's not really the case.
that's actually what he said. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Especially because
that better be a poor translation.
The backlash people had
simplified.
with 13, and I actually didn't hate 13, but they really can't do that if they want that game to be.
They pissed off a ton of fans with that shit.
Oh yeah, they pissed off so many people with Final Fantasy 13. They had to make a
It
trilogy.
was like out of everybody I know.
13 though. I liked it. I'm
Out of-
crazy.
Yeah, I love 13. I don't
Stop
know.
man.
Just making sequels before you even find out if the game is gonna even do anything. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, they do that with movies though now anymore, so it's just
Can we
basically
snipe them too?
in the media
that doesn't
world.
make it any better.
In the media world, everyone
Alright,
knows
come
if they have a
on,
hit.
you gotta
Like,
do.
that you know if you have a hit before it comes out. You just know it.
Get
So that's the way it works.
some snipers on all these.
I don't need a sniper rifle. Just give me an A2 M16 A2 service rifle and some rounds, and I'm good.
Dang, I didn't know we were in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I wasn't ready for that.
But yeah,
Call
I
of
honestly
Duty.
think,
What about
15,
you?
to me, it just really reminded me so much of Xenoblade for the fact of that world and, the way you can just run around all those fields and
I hope
all those
Xenoblade
monsters.
sticks with next year. I really do.
Because honestly, I need that game, first of all, for my Wii U because I need an RPG. Duh.
Yep.
And
I wish they would just bring Kingdom Hearts over to Wii U. What the heck?
And, you
It's
know-
made for that damn game.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It's the perfect
Touchpad,
system for
everything.
RPGs.
Perfect for it. All RPGs, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. They should
What do
have
you
a
think?
ton more
Hey,
RPGs
if there's
on the
any
consoles.
developers happening by this thing, listen up. You could do a lot of innovation on the Wii U's gamepad with your game.
GPA, goddammit.
Put a little bit more effort in it, and trust and believe, we'll buy your shit. Trust
Yeah,
us.
we will buy it.
Just saying. Just saying.
oh, especially me, bro. You're gonna be seeing a lot of like 5 copies.
I'm a hardcore RPG fan. That's my favorite genre.
Like, Nintendo fans will buy some shit. Just put some effort in it. We don't mind having our wallets raped. It's all good.
Operation
I'm
Platinum.
It's already being raped.
I mean, they're being
so,
raped right now. Come on. Y'all don't want a piece of this pie?
hmm
Like, what the hell?
So yeah, I honestly am gonna give it a try because I am gonna get Type 0. I did state that I'm gonna
I
get
was
Type
looking
0.
at that.
Tell me
That,
what
does,
it's
that
like.
did catch my attention. I do
So
like
I'm
that.
gonna get that
I'm gonna skip that.
because with that you also get the 3 to 4 hour demo. Yes, it's 3 to 4 hours.
Tell me what it's
Of
like when
Final
you
Fantasy
do it.
15. So I'm gonna get that.
Damn, that's awesome.
And definitely gonna be playing that because I have to see how this new battle system is gonna go because I like the whole teleportation with the swords thing.
That
Oh,
looked
yeah,
cool.
that did look
That
cool.
looked really cool.
It really looked cool. So I'm definitely gonna want to try all this out because the
Is that
Kingdom Hearts
just
battle
for-
system. Now the thing I'm gonna say this: if you are used to Kingdom Hearts, you're gonna be used to this in a way because
Well,
of course
yeah.
it doesn't play like Kingdom Hearts,
Similar.
but it's gonna be like it in a
Which is
way
why
where
you
it's
like
gonna be
it so
different.
goddamn much.
No, but it's gonna be in a way where it's different.
Mm,
Trust me, I still like the old turn-based. I still play like freaking 4 and 3.
Well,
now to
Bravely
this day.
Default was turn-based, and that was a great game.
Bravely Default was good. Look at that.
I love
gotta
it.
get back to into RPGs.
yeah.
Blasphemy. I haven't played an RPG
Alright,
in so long.
I think we spent too much on that, man.
Let's
Yeah,
go to
let's
the
do
next
that.
topic.
Yeah.
Surprise.
All right.
I'm
Surprise us.
kind of salty now. Let's move on to
Time for
Yeah.
a secret topic. Time for a secret topic. All right. Now, Sony recently almost doubled their projected losses for the year to $2.1 billion. Now, this begs the question of all YouTubers, how soon until Nintendo goes third party?
I'm gonna give you a close prediction, and this comes from. Alright, listen. I'm gonna give you a good prediction, and this comes from my greatest source, Michael Packer,
Jesus.
and it's gonna
Okay.
happen tomorrow.
All right.
So just saying.
So expect some Marios on my Xbox 360.
All right,
Yeah,
matter of
come on.
fact, are you listening? You need to put out that video.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see Pikmin on iPhone next year.
Obviously.
I'm sorry, you guys. For all you people out there who really, really, really want Nintendo games on your system, it ain't happening. Stop having wet dreams about it. It's not happening.
It's honestly,
It
it's
just
the
ain't gonna
reason.
happen.
It's the reason why Sony and Microsoft might have a reason to be scared if their system's underpowered, and Nintendo really doesn't have to worry because they put themselves in a position where that shit doesn't matter because of their games. That's why it will never go anywhere, and why they're
It's-
smart not to put
Yeah,
it.
it's more likely third parties would come back to the Wii U than the Nintendo games going to those consoles. I'm just sorry. So
Just
stop,
trust me.
Just stop it. It's a wet dream. You're
Yeah,
chasing
it's
away.
not gonna happen.
I kind of,
Go
in a way, I kind of prefer third parties being away from Nintendo because then Nintendo would get the monopoly, and we don't want the monopoly.
Yeah,
We
we don't want a
competition.
monopoly of any
We
kind.
want competition.
Hey, you don't want just one console on the market. Period. In
I love
discussion.
Nintendo to death. They're my favorite company right now, but at the
But-
same time, it's not healthy for one company to have all the power.
Exactly.
Right. At all.
Yeah, it's never
Yeah.
fun.
And
I
that's
concur.
something a lot of people want for like Sony especially.
That's
which,
because they're
like,
ignorant. They don't
Yeah,
know
they-
any better.
exactly.
They don't understand at all.
So they don't understand.
Yeah, they
If
just
you
don't
get
understand.
Understand this: if you get rid of Microsoft, that ruins some competition. If you get rid of Nintendo, well, it's over. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that brought back gaming, and
Honestly,
you're just gonna do all
Nintendo
that?
keeps like a unique spark of creativity, like like happening in the gaming industry. And if you remove Nintendo from like the current gaming landscape and everything they do, it would become so one-dimensional and flat. And I love a lot of the stuff the other guys do. I love them to death.
Yeah,
but I love them
definitely.
because they exist in a world where I also have what Nintendo does.
Right.
And if that was removed, if that element was gone, it would become such a boring, brown, bloody, shooter-filled mess.
I
of
just
the
wouldn't be
same
a
shit.
gamer anymore. If Nintendo packs it up, I'm done. I am
Seriously,
so done.
I
Straight up.
literally enjoy Sony and Microsoft more because Nintendo exists.
Yes.
Literally.
So, I'll just stay on my last Nintendo system. Sorry.
Like,
I don't know about you packing it up. That's your call.
no, I'm talking about I just won't be playing on other systems. I'll be a gamer on Nintendo system that lives for now and will never come back again. I don't know if they end up going to other consoles, if like they just pack it
It's
up with Wii U and go third party. I don't know.
It's just hopefully
was-
these people know too.
It was
It's
so weird.
where-
It's a
hopefully-
misnomer, whatever.
But it's not
hopefully
gonna
these
happen.
people-
But it's
Exactly.
whatever.
Hopefully these people know. All right. To
They
fact
know.
that no wait. Hopefully these people know it's a fact that if Nintendo goes down, you're not gonna expect. No, they're going down with their IPs. Hopefully you know that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're not.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
not.
They're
They're not
stubborn. They're
selling
going,
those.
once they go down, everything
That's
goes
it.
with them.
Yeah.
Man,
they're
you know
not-
that's a really interesting thing to think about, and
they're
I
not
think that
selling them.
there's part of me that would think that Nintendo would do that, and then there's part of me that would think, well, they're a business, and it's like let that stuff go somewhere and make some money back as you close your company down. Like there's both could be true. So that's a really interesting
that is.
thought.
Mario 64 8, produced by Disney Interactive.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, no.
I
Disney
don't
already
know.
got their hands in
Nintendo
Star
would
Wars.
probably-
Don't even get me started.
Nintendo would be like, no, we can't. We just can't. No.
Nope.
No,
back
Well,
to
you
the
might, and you
hotels.
might be right. Like they
And
have
that
that
is-
level of
yeah.
pride that the other
Right.
companies don't have, and they might be that way. Which
I mean,
would
look
be.
how long they've been here.
I don't know.
The thing is-
125 years today, people.
Yeah,
I
happy
know,
birthday.
125 years, and you mean to tell
Yep.
me they're gonna go out like that? Nah, they're
Honestly,
taking
though,
their
honestly,
ship. They're going
honestly,
down with the
honestly.
ship. Captain in the ship.
Honestly, like people, the whole idea of them going third party and the whole thing, like honestly, for years and for literally generations, people have been trying to spell doom for Nintendo, and I don't know why. Because every time they do, Nintendo comes back and bitch slaps
slaps them
sense
in the
back into
face, yeah.
everybody. And it's
Shut
like,
up.
look, we're awesome again. Like you can't
Yeah.
bring them down. Like no, they may
Yeah.
make stupid decisions, and they will get themselves back into a corner. Absolutely, I will
They're
admit
like
that. Which
the
sucks.
underdogs, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
you
but
know-
the underdog can only go in one direction, which is
Right.
up to the top, and they
Yeah.
always do that, no matter how bad things get. So.
I actually
you know,
prefer, I want them to keep being pushed in the corner because every time Nintendo gets pushed in the corner, they
get
come
better
back
and
hard.
better.
It's like
Yeah, they
Gohan
get
fighting
better.
Cell. You break Nintendo's arm, and then they come back and kick your ass anyway.
That's why I'm like, all right, Sony, y'all need to step up the game and piss Nintendo off again.
And you know, speaking about them, you know, again with their loss, it's like people have to know if Sony goes down, PlayStation goes down with it. Unless
I disagree.
okay?
I disagree.
Unless no, here's what I go. Here's what I go with this. Unless now this is what I recommend they do, since PlayStation is basically their only profitable division.
Division,
right?
yeah.
They have to rip it apart. All right, they have to rip it out of Sony. Okay,
I think they would
take it
sell
out.
it off. They would sell
They
it.
have to take it out, make it its own thing, and let Sony just die itself. All right? Because the thing is, PlayStation right now is their only thing making them money, and what are they spending the money on? Their debts. So basically, right now, they should just take it apart, take that from Sony.
I see what you're saying. Make
Yeah.
PlayStation its own entity, the way like Nintendo is its own entity, and then
Yeah,
it would be
exactly.
like the PlayStation.
Yeah, like
5.
the
thing is,
PlayStation
Sony-
is just it.
Because the thing
Yeah.
is, Sony
Like if PlayStation was a company, not Sony.
Yeah, because the
Right.
thing is, PlayStation and Sony, right? Sony's the parent. Microsoft, Xbox, Microsoft's the parent.
Yeah.
Nintendo, Nintendo. You know?
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like-
Yeah, no, you're honestly, that's a really good
And
idea, and I
yeah,
think
that
that's
might
a
actually-
potential.
I'm telling you, because the thing is, with that money you're making, don't just be like, okay, we're gonna pay off the cell phone debts, that we're gonna pay off the
Yeah,
electricity.
it should be
other
able to
stuff debts.
facilitate its own success.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So really, if you even want to keep the name Sony itself, you can just sell off everything else but PlayStation.
Yeah,
No?
just be a
Just get
PlayStation.
rid of
'Cause
it.
that's it would be interesting because you would all of a sudden have two companies that exist solely as video game companies, and it puts them on a
Exactly.
more level playing field with Nintendo, which is good.
And that way,
And I love Sony and the PlayStation, so I don't really want that brand to ever go away. So
No,
I don't
trust
really
me.
like the idea of it going away.
trust me, I like it because they bring the best RPGs. They go for the guys that bring the best RPGs. I like their first party, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank,
Totally.
Jack and Daxter.
Naughty Dog is their company. Like we
Naughty
need those
Dog, too.
things. Like
You know,
seriously.
I wish they could get Crash Bandicoot back. Trust me, I wish, and Spyro, because right now Activision's destroying Spyro. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And mark my words, in
So
the
many
next year or two, we're gonna see PlayStation Inc. be
Oh,
its own
trust
thing.
Yeah,
PlayStation
Yeah.
Inc.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would
They're
be
gonna
cool.
They
separate.
continue with
I'm just
Sony.
saying, PlayStation should just be its own thing. Good lord, why not?
The thing is,
Yeah.
the thing is though, if they continue to be with Sony, they actually might not
They're
make a
gonna
new console
fall.
next year.
I mean,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Sony right now is crashing and burning. We know this.
Which
It's
really
just a
and that
matter.
sucks. I hate that.
I
No, it's a matter of whether the PlayStation is going to go down in flames
They
with
need,
it, or if it's
yeah,
going
they
to be
need to
spun
throw
off.
PlayStation
out.
in a lifeboat. Throw them in a
Bail out.
lifeboat.
Bail out quick.
Just be their own thing.
Abandon ship.
Let Shuei just go for it, man. Just let them run that company. Everything
That'd
else
be
from
interesting.
Sony just
Or
go.
we
I
see
have
the
nothing
freaking
against
Apple
Sony.
PlayStation in 3 years.
Oh
No.
no.
I even
Because
like
the thing
Apple,
is-
but
Please don't.
no, I don't want that.
Trust me,
No, don't do
I despise Apple for a passion. So I do not want that to happen at all.
What if
because
Samsung
other-
came in and made them a console?
Apple,
Literally-
Samsung, Amazon, and Google are all likely candidates to pick up the PlayStation brand if Sony were to abandon it.
Oh,
The
please
thing
don't.
is, honestly, I do not.
Well,
with
Samsung, I would rather.
Like,
I don't want
honestly,
any
with
of that
Apple
shit,
especially.
Yeah,
I do not want to see a PlayStation 100 by next
Samsung.
year.
'Cause
Okay?
I'm gonna get a Galaxy Note 4 and
PlayStation by Samsung. That doesn't
Compatible.
sound right.
Samsung
It'll
it'll be
PlayStation.
compatible with my Galaxy Note 4.
And the thing that would be bad about it, the
Well,
thing that would be
Samsung
really
probably.
bad about it is that, if they sell it off to another company like Apple, Samsung, or something like that, they're not going to do anything much with it because they don't know how the gaming market
Yeah,
is. All they do is they're basically electronic markets,
Yeah.
So they're not really going to be like, oh, games, like we know everything. No, you don't. Because the thing is, all you guys really focus on is just your electronics that you sell. Yes, you sell games on your, on the Android, Google Play, or on iOS. But the thing is, that's not your main focus. Your main focus is making electronics. So it's like, if you take that and actually try to make it, try to take PlayStation and, try to expand on that, you guys will fail. I'm honestly going to say this. They will fail because they don't know anything. They honestly don't.
Yeah,
'Cause the thing
honestly, if Sony ever did go away, I just don't think that the PlayStation brand would crash and burn. They know it's salvageable, so I think it would still find a way to survive.
But you know what would be the funniest thing? The funniest thing that would ever happen, Nintendo buys them.
yeah.
Nintendo buys PlayStation.
Well,
That would
PlayStation is
never
gonna be with
The
Nintendo
thing is- no,
originally.
think about it. Think
Yeah,
about it.
what a crazy turnaround. that would be if that
PlayStation?
did
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
PlayStation being bought by Nintendo, all those Naughty Dog, all
Oh,
those
don't do that to me.
Montreal, all those people will be studios for Nintendo.
God, that's one of those things that I
I
think that sounds really great on paper until you really think about it, because
Yeah.
it then does remove the PlayStation as a player, and like that's less fun. It's, to me, just to me. Yeah. I like it as its own. I mean, yeah, we
Yeah.
can say, man, if Uncharted or Last of Us, or Sly Cooper were on Nintendo platforms, that would be
And that's-
awesome. And it
yeah.
would be.
I would really like it.
But
if
that's
like
the same
Cooper-
as everybody wanting Nintendo franchises on their systems. You
I
guys.
just want Nintendo to make their own games that are that
Yeah.
good. I'd rather have that.
No,
And
but the
then
thing is, I'm
Sony
not
can do-
asking. The thing is, I would really like to see actually, because it really would make a perfect, actual fit for the fact
Yeah.
that it's like
Yeah.
Sly Cooper,
Naughty Dog, bring back Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank would really fit in that universe.
Ratchet, Clank.
Yeah, they
Naughty-
definitely would. Yeah.
So it's like, if they could get those, that would be fine. Like, not the whole PlayStation division. If they can at least get, like, Naughty Dog, I'll be fine with that. But
well, that's what happens
Down on Charter.
in a world where like Sony and the PlayStation brand were going down. That's where that stuff happens. That's where they start selling off IPs. And so that's where you can be like, man, I really hope that Nintendo would buy like the Ratchet and Clank IP, and Microsoft maybe would buy like Uncharted or something like that, or other companies, and Ubisoft would probably buy some shit, and EA would buy some shit. Like that's where that could happen. But again, I still feel like the PlayStation would find a way to survive even if Sony didn't. Kind of building off what Jamie said, like I think that would happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. The PlayStation brand just needs to branch off from Sony. That's all they need to do. Because honestly, if they stick with them any longer, they're going down with them. And
that
that's
would be
PlayStation.
I mean, honestly, like I think going back to something else I said a minute ago too. Well, I think one of the reasons I am a huge Nintendo fan, and probably all of us are, without even realizing it, is it's because they're only a video game company, so they have to make very different decisions with their gaming product. And if Sony or the PlayStation did have somehow become the same thing, I think it could very potentially benefit that company in the same way. And they make better gaming decisions because they're only a gaming company too. And that's a really cool thought. So,
Yeah,
and I say that
it's interesting.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they'll be making money for the fact that now, trust me, if they were separated from Sony and they launched a PS4, oh my God, they would already be good for the amount of money they're getting.
You're right. Yeah, it's true.
They would honestly be all right now because they'll be able to keep their value going up. They'll be able to keep everything going, making new games first party. So honestly, it would be the best thing for them to do. It's just that depends on Sony's choice.
It would be really interesting to find out how much profit the PlayStation division has made this last year, and see, and like, because let's say it made $1 billion profit, just for example. That means that the $2.2 billion profit loss that they're talking about would actually be elevated to 3.
Yeah.
Which is just a crazy thought to think if the PlayStation brand didn't exist and wasn't doing what it is for Sony. Like, it's preventing them from sinking even faster than they seem like they are.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
All right. And we're going to leave it there because it's been over 2 hours at this point. We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank all the panelists. I want to thank all the listeners for listening in.
Thanks,
Let's give our sign-outs, and we'll be out this bitch. All right. James Rosa, you're first up.
Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. I had fun discussing things with these guys. So anyway, I do have a new mega thoughts up because I don't know, I wanted to talk about some things, so I have that up. And I was really kind of lazy over the weekend, so I just did it. So there we go. And Hyrule Warriors walkthrough coming this Friday, and I'm going to be live streaming on the Gamers at Large Network Twitch page, or I'll do it on YouTube. So look out for that basically on Friday nights at 8 Eastern Standard Time or Saturday nights 8 Eastern Standard Time, okay? So just look out for that on the Gamers at Large pages. So yeah, so that's basically all I got to say. So like I always say, don't lose your way, don't be afraid, just
Nice.
My eyeballs will be stuck on my own copy of Hyrule Warriors Friday night.
I know.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
All right, Coopin, you're up next.
Hi guys, self-proclaimed diva of gaming is here. Thanks for having me on board. It was really fun talking with you guys. Yeah, I have a lot of things coming in the near future. Working out some stuff for my channel, but stay tuned. You'll see some things and got some gameplay coming. I might do something with some Hyrule Warriors here and there and whatnot. And so, thanks for having me. Have all you guys. Like I usually say, please don't feed the trolls.
True that.
All right, Rob, you're up next.
Yeah, so I guess also definitely thanks for having me. I super loved meeting and chatting with you guys on the panel. Jamie, thanks for getting me on the podcast too. It was awesome being able to touch base with you like in person for the first time. And for the listeners and stuff too, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if we're in the middle of self-plugging, I did just put up a Destiny review that I spent a good amount of time on. So if you're curious as to my thoughts, and yes, I am a fan of the game, but if you want to hear me go more in depth, then check that out. And yeah, again, it was really, really fun. I love chatting game with all you guys. That was a lot of fun. So hopefully get to be on another one.
All right, and Rashidi.
Hey guys, it's me, the Good Shepherd. Real quick, just want to point out, support Operation Platinum. Now, this is where I want to clear up, because people thinking different things and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's about letting people know that we would actually buy quality titles. It's not about mature games or anything else. It's about third party actually making a quality title, so we're gonna buy it. It's a message. So support Operation Platinum, and I'm still doing the giveaway. So keep your eyes out for when that posts, because I will be doing that. And that's it. Have a good night, people. Hope you all enjoy the chat.
All right, guys, and I have been your host, Jimmy Butterworth. I deem this podcast Butterworthy.